morning, guys. I am Patty Elhoff, the author of Upcycle with Decoupage. That's also the name of my website. It's upcyclewithdecoupage.v as in Victor, P as in Patty, web.com. If you're looking for many of the supplies that you'll need today, the link will be below in the description. And here's what we will be working on for today. This is some light fixture that was in our house that looked very stark when you turned the light on. This was how it looked before, and I definitely wanted to change that. So I took some tissue paper. Now this says it's bleeding tissue paper, which doesn't sound very nice, but it didn't bleed or run that much. I don't know if it's because I used such similar colors, but I cleaned this container really well, hot soap and water, dried it, and then I started to cut out some shapes to fit on here. Now I realize you aren't going to have this exact same globe, probably, this light fixture, but these instructions work just the same for whatever glass project you're working on. So I made sure that I cut out shapes to fit before I started to decoupage. There were several pieces that I needed to cut out for this, and I had originally done it in about 3 or 4 different alternating colors, and it started to look like a beach ball. It wasn't attractive at all. So I stuck with this monochromatic pattern. So here's what it looked like with the different colors on it, and I wasn't liking it at all. I started over again, and after I had cut out some vivid oranges, tangerine, a little bit of an amber color, I started to decoupage. And you just add the decoupage glue to the glass. Then you put your pieces over the decoupage, and again, I would dip my brush in a little bit of water because I wanted these to sink in. You can see there's a lot of raised glass here. And what I did was I just continued this right on down the glass, and it seemed to work nicer to have some type of a pattern in mind, and I decided to do one color here and different colors on each row. I wanted to make sure I overlapped because I knew that I was going to be putting the copper foil or the copper tape over these raised parts of the glass. Once I was done covering the whole surface, I then took the Mod Podge, and I'm using the gloss, and I covered the whole surface with this and put it aside to dry for about a half an hour. Once it was dry, I added one more coat of the Mod Podge. Then I used the gloss spray after that dried over the top of it. Once the spray top coat dried, I then began to take this copper tape, and this is what they use on real stained glass. The difference is we're not going to use solder or flux or any of the other complicated things you need and expensive in order to do stained glass. So it's really not that difficult to work with this tape. It is very sticky, but you can pick it up and reposition it. There's a tool on my website that you can purchase if you'd like to do a lot of this. It is called a foil crimper, and the only place I've seen that really is in stained glass supply stores. I used to work with stained glass. It may be available somewhere else. Or you may want to just do it with your fingers. I will caution, you do have to press these ends down of the tape, but you may not even know it. It is really copper tape, and it can and does cut your fingers, and a lot of times you only find that out if you're working with lemon or some kind of an acidic cleaner later in the day. So the crimper comes in handy. And I'll finish putting the copper tape around all of the raised lines on this piece. By the way, this is very easy to tear with just your fingertips or your fingernails. You may want to use a pair of scissors, but it's quite easy to work with. And here is how the finished product looks. I'll do a close-up on that. You may even be able to get this globe in the Home Depot. This is with the light off. You can see it's got a nice little stained glass look to it. This is with the light on. And I have to say, the warm glow in the room is a great improvement over this, where it was just too stark and we never used the light. Now, whether it's turned on or off, it's a nice, attractive accent to the room. I hope you guys give this a try. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment below. It may take a day or two, but I will get back to you. Thank you so much for subscribing. I am always happy to help you guys out. Hope you have a good week, and I will be back next week with another video. Bye-bye.